Alright, so I've got my King Arms M4A1 AEG Airsoft carbine, and today we're going to be shooting 0.25 gram Airsoft BB 6mm BBs through this chronograph. Now if you checked out my preview video for this gun or my tabletop video, you know that I was using 0.20 gram BBs for that portion of the review, and I was getting around 415 to 420 feet per second. So we stepped it up a notch. I'm shooting 0.25 gram BBs, which may be a little bit more accurate and potentially better BBs in the field. And so I'll probably be getting somewhere in the neighborhood of the high 300s, close to 400 feet per second, I'm imagining, with these BBs. So we're going to shoot 5 rounds through the chronograph. We really don't need to shoot too many because this gun isn't going to really speed up or slow down that much, as it's an AEG spring-styled airsoft rifle. So here we go. 385.7. 380, 375.9, so 376, shot 4, 380, almost 381, and 389. So getting up there close to 400, but not quite. Still a nice high feet per second. Alright, so at this point we're going to move on to the accuracy portion, and I'm going to shoot 10 rounds into a target from a semi-rested position 30 feet out. Now after that, I'm going to do some can carnage. And as per usual, I'll slow it down a bit with my high-speed cameras. Alright, so let's move on to the accuracy portion of this test. Alright, so we're all set up for the accuracy portion of the test. Again, 30 feet out. We're actually going to be using a semi-rested position. So I'll be resting the gun on a sandbag in the front, and I'll be standing in the rear. Still not too bad. I'm going to open my sights up here right now. We're going to put the red dot on. And I am using a red dot. Now, I have taken this red dot off and on a few times. It was centered on the target, sighted in, but it may be a little bit out, but still should be pretty close to the bullseye. I'm going to shoot 10 rounds to see how accurate we are in semi-auto. We'll take a quick look, then I'll head back and I'll just shoot a bunch of rounds in full auto and see what we get in full auto results. Alright, here we go. 10 rounds semi-auto. I need to add some BBs here. I think the last two didn't go, so we'll wind her up. Alright, so let's take a look. Always good to wind up your magazine. Well, that's a nice group. Now, if you haven't noticed this, or I haven't told you, this circle is 1.5 inches around. Now, we're shooting a little bit lower, so I would probably need to advance the scope up just a little higher, but this is shooting really a nice 1.5 inch group from 30 feet out. Nothing wrong with that. Very accurate gun. Alright, so we're going to step back. We're going to shoot a bunch of rounds in full auto now. That should be enough. Well, that did a lot of damage to that target. Not too bad. Alright, so at this point, we're going to do some damage to these cans right here. So this will be a lot of fun. And again, like I said, I'm just going to shoot this in full auto, see what we can do to these cans with these 0.25 gram BBs, and I'll also capture it in high speed. Alright, without further ado, we got my high speed cameras rolling, so here we go. And I think that's it. We're done.